Bodybuilding Babble with Ian Hedek, only on Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. Stay tuned because Fouad Abiad is in hot water with Andrew Jack and Chris Cormier. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Ian, got a lot of gossip going on, man. What's happening?
Yeah, we do. You already hit the nail on the head with the Fouad. Fouad got two people he going after. Apparently.
Yeah, right. I know. So why don't you give the first story was him and Chris Cormier. So why don't you give that backstory?
So the backstory was they were on a podcast and they were talking about it was Samson, Paul, and I think it was James Hollinshield.
Was it Hollingshead?
I think it was.
Okay, go ahead.
And they were talking about a lot of the more of the white bodybuilders trained like Dorian Yates, more of the lift very heavy and whatnot. While black bodybuilders didn't, and I'm like, well, there's a few who did. We all know, but it doesn't.
Yeah, he said black bodybuilders are more volume based,
right,
where white bodybuilders are heavyweight, low volume based. That's what he was trying to say.
For where Chris Cormier said afterwards, I was like,
yeah, no, it was a little. Well, that's
who
his.
Cares?
Yeah, well, the thing is, all right, a couple of things. That's his opinion, and if that's his observation and that's his opinion, it doesn't mean that it's racist. Okay. I was thinking about it a little bit. And of course I was thinking, I understood what he was saying. He was basically saying, black bodybuilders have these tremendous genetics where they have these round muscle bellies and they don't have to
train as hard,
kill themselves with the heavy weight. But that doesn't mean that black bodybuilders aren't strong or don't move heavyweight. So of course Johnny Jackson moved heavyweight and Ronnie Coleman moved heavyweight and Chris Cormier himself moved heavyweight. But when you watch like a Sean Roden, a Dexter Jackson, a Phil Heath, it's more very methodical and high volume and everything. It's the movement is the stress itself. The mind muscle connection is more of the stress. And when you watch guys like a Branch Warren or Dorian Yates, they're basically going nuts. Now, do I agree with his opinion? I don't agree. My opinion is that every bodybuilder basically needs to lift heavy with high volume.
Right.
But just because he makes an observation between the difference between a black athlete and a white athlete doesn't make you racist.
But the one thing was he was saying was like Chris Cormier was like, oh, Samson, say something. Why? You can't say that because Fouad's your boss.
Yeah, that's
like, what the hell has to do anything? Samson's
Chris Cormier said that he basically missaid everything Fouad said. He said that, and he had Johnny Jackson and Dennis
James was
James.
Fouad.
But nobody had saw what Fouad said, so they were all relying on Chris Cormier. So Johnny Jackson was like, what? And then, of course, everybody knows Johnny Jackson was a beast back in the day. He was literally he was the strongest bodybuilder, one of the strongest deadlifters in the world at the time.
Correct.
But it was just blown out of proportion.
But then here's the funny thing. Fouad told Dennis James, he says, watch the clip what I said.
Right. There you go.
What he said, he goes, there's nothing racist. You said anything about it.
It's the truth. He didn't say anything racist. Look, in this country, it's become to the point where if you make a simple observation about a certain culture, it's become taboo to make a generalized statement. And the truth is, certain cultures, certain ethnicities have generalizations. It happens to be true. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to study psychology. You wouldn't be able to study sociology, right? There are differences in the Dominican culture as opposed to the Italian culture, right? I mean, and to generalize those differences doesn't make you racist. It makes you observant. So what I took from, did I agree with Fouad's assessment, no. I always thought that it was always should have been heavyweight with high volume, right? But
Right.
what he said didn't strike me as being racist, you know? I mean, look, if I say Asian people are great at mathematics, if I say Chinese people are great at mathematics, that's a generalization, but that's a good thing. So nobody would say I was racist, right? Because you're generalizing a good point. But then if I say Hispanic women have too many children out of wedlock, you would say, well, that's racist because it's a bad point. But is it true?
And they said you can't say something negative. If you say when you say something racist, it has to be negative. You're never gonna say something racist positive.
Yeah, right. So it's is it true? Do Hispanic women have children out of wedlock? Yeah, it's kind of part of the culture. They usually have children at 15, 16, 17 and get married later on. That's generally how, the Hispanic, not every, Hispanic culture, Dominican,
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
But,
You know how people get. They might jump on you now. You better stop.
it is what it is. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the difference, right? That's what happens. So if you go ahead and say, Italian people can't talk without using their hands, I would agree with that because I'm always using my fucking hands.
Right. It's something that it's just you see that, but you see that in the culture. You just go,
yeah, right. And so it's everybody just has become so and then another
sensitive.
thing, everybody's become so sensitive, and everybody like watches a little clip and then doesn't watch the whole thing and blows it up, and it's just like it's unfortunate, but it's true. And do I agree with Fouad? No, I think every bodybuilder should train heavyweight with high volume, and I think heavyweight is relevant to the bodybuilder. Right. I mean, yeah, Ronnie Coleman could squat 800 pounds for 5 plates, or for 5 reps, right? Or 600 pounds for 10 reps, whatever the case may be. But Dexter Jackson would squat 4 plates, 405 for multiple reps. That was heavy for him, and that was high volume for him. Every it's all a little bit different, but I don't think it was racist. I don't know. What do I know?
You know what? I forgot to mention. This is breaking news. C-Bomb's got an energy drink coming out.
Oh, Jesus, really?
I kid you not.
Well, that guy is so marketable and people love him so much that he might as well strike while the iron's hot. He might as well. And because every kid.
I believe the name is going to be called Bum Energy.
That's pretty good. Look, man, you got to strike while the iron's hot. He is the number one guy in bodybuilding, period. Every young guy knows who he is in the gym. They don't know who Heidi Chopin is. They don't know who Big Ramy is. They don't even know who came in number 2 at the Classic Physique Olympia, but they know Bumstead. So strike while the iron's hot. If after you retire, people might not be as interested. So go right ahead. People are going to buy it. You might as well, man.
And his event is this weekend too.
Oh, that's right. In Texas, right? The $200 job, right? That one. Yeah. That was a little too much for my taste, and then to make matters worse, Chris Psycho Lewis, Chris Aceto went on RX Muscle and talked about Andrew Jacked, and they were talking about his progress.
Which they're supposed to, because that's their guy.
Right. And then Chris Psycho Lewis said that there was a podcast or a YouTube channel, bodybuilding YouTube channel, and he said basically generalized and said the bros. So there's only one bro chat. Right. And that's Fouad. Doesn't necessarily that means that has to be it, but odds are when you say bros, you mean bro chat. Saying that Andrew Jacked will never get striations in his hamstrings. He'll never have lines and so on and so forth. And apparently nobody on bro chat ever said anything like that ever.
All they compared him is to what everybody's placed him is so high against, like when he was at the Olympia.
Right.
Plays like you made this guy almost beyond figurehead.
Yeah.
And you're going against these guys.
Right.
Can he win Arnold? He probably could.
Yeah.
I know because like Ian Valera said, from the front, it looks like everybody he's number 1 and everybody else has never trained before in their life.
Right.
But when you turn around from the back, it's a different story.
Right. I Do I think that he's going to make major improvements from the Olympia to the Arnold? I do, because I believe Andrew Jack is a special bodybuilder.
Right.
He is a normal bodybuilder, doesn't turn pro, win 2 pro shows, and place 8th at the Olympia in 1 year. That doesn't happen unless you're special, right? That unless you're a very special person like a Nick Walker or a Flex Wheeler or Dorian, unless you're a very special bodybuilder. So do I think if he puts himself in the hands of somebody like Psycho Lewis and Chris Aceto, can he make those improvements? Yes, I think he can. Now we'll see what happens, because he doesn't put any pictures up or anything like that, any updates. And if he does, it's basically just kind of from the front. He doesn't show his legs.
Or I saw 2 pics that came out, but of course they didn't really come out because they were freaking blurry.
Right. So that could mean that he just doesn't want to show it, or it could mean, we've seen bodybuilders that didn't show their legs because the legs weren't improved. But I believe that Andrew Jack is a special bodybuilder. And I think that's Mr. Olympia in a couple of years, personally. And I think that is a dominant Mr. Olympia in a couple of years. I think that is the guy who can be the 8, 7, 8, 9, 10 time Mr. Olympia, personally. Because
my thing with Andrew Jack is, from the front, hands down winner.
Right.
From the back, like you said, you just gotta see.
Yeah, I mean, he did right from the back is where his he's exposed, but he's only exposed at the Olympia. You put him in a regular show and he still dominates. So you put him in. He made the right move. He put himself in the position where Psycho Lewis is training him, and he has the experience. He trained Sean Roden, he trained Dexter Jackson, he trained under Charles Glass, and Chris Aceto. His name speaks for himself. You don't even have to, you don't have to say anything else after that. And from watching that interview on RX Muscle with Aceto and Psycho Lewis, they're both saying that he's putting in the work and he's not backing down and he's taking the punishment. He wants to win. So if he has that drive, which it seems like, and he has this, and he's special, dude, he's going to be a problem for everybody, But
like you said, we all have to see. We've seen many guys, and you know what I'm talking. We've seen many guys leading up to a show, phenomenal.
Right.
As soon as that time of the show comes up, you're like, what happened?
Yeah. I think this Arnold, this Arnold's going to be extremely competitive, because I think a lot of guys have something to prove. So I think Big Ramy has something to prove. I think Andrew Jack has something to prove, because I think he hears those. No, you have to be deaf not to hear the critiques on your back and hamstrings and glutes and whatnot, right? And I think Kamal's got something to prove, because he really wanted that 212 Olympia. Sean Clarita really threw himself in the deep end. He's going to have to dig down deep and really work hard to get it. Not that he doesn't work hard, but all I'm saying is I think this Arnold is going to be extremely competitive, and Bonac has something to prove big time. Bonac really shit the bed at the Olympia. And I don't think that's the real Bonac. When you saw the Bonac at last year's Arnold and last year's Boston Pro, he dominated, man. He dominated, So,
and like I said, like with all that said, you got to think, we got at least. I mean, a lot of people are gonna say this is Nick's show to lose.
Right.
Basically, everybody's got Nick as the winner. I mean, yes, he's tighter, he's smaller. Okay, we all know that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of people coming after him.
Yeah, there's no question.
You got Samson, who's looking good. Clarita's looking good. You know what I'm saying? We see him.
Yeah.
You got Andrew Jackson's going to be looking good. Apparently, Ramby's dents are gone.
Don't ask me how, but yeah.
Right. I don't know how, but like I said, we will see. Maybe it's the stem cell he's doing. Who knows?
Yeah. And what's his name went on the Olympia TV. Chad Nichols went on Olympia TV, and he was basically saying that what went wrong with Ramy's prep for the Olympia, saying that he was constipated for days on end and he couldn't poop, that he was extremely nervous because of that. There was one other problem too that he mentioned that I don't remember. So it all could very well be true, but again, we'll see. Because if he's the Ramy from last year, then nobody wins.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. We'll see.
And it's next week.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no question. So we'll see exactly what happens, but I think this is going to be a tremendous Arnold Classic. I think is going to be a really competitive. I mean, in the back of my head, I think there might be a couple of guys that would come out of shape. And of course, I think the guys that normally don't come in 100% like a Justin Rodriguez or a Akeem Williams. But again, you still never know, right? I'm just guessing from that past, but you still never know. And I think what's his name is going to be in shape. I just don't think he's got the size to hang with these guys. Which is
Patrick Moore.
Patrick, yeah, well, exactly. Because he looks like he's always in shape. I just don't think he has the size to hang with guys like Nick and Andrew and Samson. These are big dudes, dude. Big dudes. You know, did you see when Andrew standing on stage next to Nick and I forgot who? It's just huge human being, just a huge person, you know, and he's got that perfect X frame. And the problems that he has could be fixed. And we've seen hamstrings be fixed, and we've seen the back get better and so on and so forth. You know, if he was weak from the front where his quads were weak, you'd be like, you know, that's always been a serious problem. But his problems, like, you know, we've seen Branch bring up his back. We've seen King Kamali in his prime brought up his hamstrings, where he had probably the best hamstrings of that period. You know, so we've seen those problems being resolved. And if he has the drive, and he certainly has the people in his corner, he could do it. He could do it. You know, I love this new crop of guys. I'm the only one saying it. This is the new golden era. There is so much talent across the board. There's so much talent in the open, in 212, in classic. There's so much talent that this is the new, like, anything can happen. Right?
You're right about
that. Anything can happen. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Samson wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Clarita wins. If Nick has never fucked up. If Nick misses the mark, this one time, Clarita could beat him, because Clarita never misses the mark. Right? And we've never seen Nick miss the mark either. But, you know, he's only done, well, how many pro shows? 3, 4? I mean, I know he won the Arnold and came in third at the Olympia, which is phenomenal. But you never know.
He's won. I think he's won New York.
Yeah, he won New York. He won the Arnold.
That was the same year too.
Yeah.
So that was 2021,
and that was it. And he went straight to the Olympia.
Yeah,
and he came in third.
His first show was the Chicago Pro, and
he came in fifth. Right. He came in fifth to the Olympia that year, that he won the Arnold. And that's right. He was qualified. Yeah. And his first show was the Chicago Pro, which he didn't do. He did decent at. Right.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think he got like 4th or 6th.
Yeah. He broke the top 5, but that's when he turned pro. Like, he turned pro like a month before, 2 weeks before or something.
Yeah. Like that. So it's like, okay, whatever. But now, like I said, it's going to be, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. Bodybuilding is exciting again, man.
I wish I was there to see it, but unfortunately I'm not.
Yeah.
But, but I am making reservations to the Olympia. I want to see that.
Yeah. Bodybuilding is exciting again, man. You know, during about, you know, where you had the Brandon Curry, Big Rammy, a couple of years. It was on a little bit of a downslope. And then now these new guys coming up, man, it's fucking great again. But that's bodybuilding in general. There's always great talent, and it's like, talent, right? You know, like the period of between Ronnie and Phil, when Jay and Dexter were battling out, the talent was good. It was what was up there was good. So you had Jay, who was obviously great. Dexter was obviously great. Victor was obviously great. Branch was obviously great. But then that was kind of it. Then you kind of got average after that. But then the next generation was Kai and Phil and Dennis Wolf, and you still had Dexter in the end. And then you had Sean Roden and Cedric, and it was like, holy shit, right? And then you had a little bit of a drip, and then now it's back up there with great talent. So it's exciting to watch now, man. It really is.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on, and I know with all the bodybuilding stuff that's coming up, we do have Nick and the HD crew is coming to Aries Nutrition on March 18th.
That guy's a great guy, Patrick.
Yeah, I saw him at the when I saw you, actually, when I was coming from.
Oh, right. The gym when they had Clarita there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I had him on my show and I interviewed him, and he's a great dude, man. And he knows a lot about the supplement industry and the products itself. He's a tremendous guy. And I could
Great.
text him right now and say, what product should I order? What product should I pick up? And he'll tell me right away. He really is a good dude.
It's not like he was selling you on some crap. He's selling you some real shit.
No, absolutely. He knows he knows what he's doing. Absolutely. But there was one of the questions I asked him was, this is now I use Orange's pre-workout, but at the time I wasn't using Orange's pre-workout, and I asked him about the 3 pre-workouts I was using at the time. And the one was C4, the other one was oh God, I forgot the one I was the one that BSX, or I don't remember. And then no. It wasn't NO Explode. It was, damn it. What was, it was a GAT. Was the GAT one? Yeah, it was the GAT one. It was the GAT one, which was, I forget, right? And then like Hyde. And I was like, which one do you like the best out of all 3? He goes, none. But then he explained to me why those products are not as quality as the rest. And it made sense. It made complete sense. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's, but he was a good dude, man. So yeah, if I'm not working, I'll definitely go to that. Saturdays are rough because 80% of the time I work on Saturdays. So I'm hoping this Saturday that I will not be working. And then I can come to your plunge. Why don't you give that a plug? Because that's coming up this week.
Yeah, everybody. I've been looking at the weather. I'm getting ready to get my beach gear on. So I'll get my shorts out. It's gonna be loud and proud. So I got nice loud blue shorts. That I think they're blue, but I gotta get them. And I'm wearing a beach hat. It's gonna be loud, like a high yellow, so you can't miss me. You know what I'm saying? Like a bucket hat. When you go out fishing, one of those bucket hats. I'm wearing that. I'm going out. I got my slides with me, just ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna have fun out there. We raised over $500 for my plunge. Of course, my job decides that wants to do it, and I said, I'm not going with you. I raised my own damn money, so unfortunately, can't raise me on that one. But I'm just, I'm proud to do this because my next event, I'm going to try to assemble a team or join a team. I'm aiming for the fire truck pull in April.
Yes, you told me about that. Yeah.
But like I said, can't wait. Like I said, we're going to be at Seesaw Heights this Saturday coming up. They want us to start plunging at 1 p.m. They want me to report between 9 and, of course, probably 12, something like that. I'm going to get there probably like 11. Make sure get all my, fan stuff that I need to get, whatever I need. They sent me an email, actually, like what I have to do for my day.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to drink a half of this, of my concoction to keep me warm.
Isn't it supposed to snow this weekend, too?
It might. I know I saw it. I know it said 30. So I think it's like 36 degrees outside, which means the water's gonna be wherever it is.
Yeah.
Cold as fuck. Yes, it is gonna be cold as fuck. And I mean, like I said, I'm doing it for charity. I'm going to have fun with it, and that's all it's about. It's about having fun.
If you do the fireman truck pull and you put together a team and it's in April, count me in, because that's enough time to me to let work know that I can't work on a Saturday.
And that's a Saturday too. So yeah.
Yeah. So
that's in Ewing, which is like, West, they call it West Trenton. I go, there's a West Trenton now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So if you're putting together a team, count me in, because I could definitely, what do you call it? Give notice at work that I can't work on that particular Saturday. That's plenty enough time. And I could do it with you.
Awesome. But like you said, I'm gonna go. Like I said, I'm talking to some of my old mates who we did the pulls together before.
Okay.
We're trying to work something out. So if we do form a team, or I form a team, we're gonna.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know, definitely.
So, like I said, it's gonna be this Saturday, Seesaw Heights. We're going to be at the beach. It's going to be cold. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. With me and the other lunatics out there, we're going to jump in the water. And I've seen some of the videos, and I know a few people who are doing it with me as well. So I was like, that's kind of cool. And we're just going to go in there and have a ball. And like I said, we raised a lot of money. I saw some of the people raise a good amount of money.
Good, man. That's great. That's good to hear, man. Really.
So
that's great to hear.
I'm just happy just to be part of it,
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's this Saturday coming. which is the 25th.
Yes, at
And
Seaside Heights.
at Seaside Heights, what time?
So plungers start at 1 o'clock.
Okay, 1
So
o'clock.
we're starting to
All
plunge.
right.
They want us to be at the beach at 12:45. Like literally, because they have this map, and they show us like, okay, you register here. We want you here. The viewers here.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, yeah. They got like a whole.
Yeah, they got it all organized.
Like
Okay.
they got it. You know, Wawa's giving us hot coffee. I mean, I hope they give us coffee. Like Wawa's free coffee.
Yeah, I would hope
I'm
so.
like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I said I'm gonna need it because I'm gonna be revved up.
Yeah, yeah.
Wherever I'm on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Might be tequila, it might be Jack.
Anybody do something? Yeah. I know.
Someone's gonna keep me warm.
Yeah.
And once I get out, someone's gonna keep me warm too.
Yeah.
I'm just getting everything ready because I'm just so psyched. And then right after that, we're getting ready for the Arnold. So I'm like,
That's
okay,
right.
I got this. After this, I got the week later. I'm like, okay, because I know a lot of people are flying out that Sunday. They're already going out there.
Yeah.
I know Karita's going out there Sunday. I think majority of people are flying out that week.
Good. Well, I mean, it's the best thing you could do because you want to get acclimated. You want if you hold some water in the plane, you want to have time to be able to get rid of it, so on and so forth. You never want to show up the day before or the day of.
Because Karita was already saying that. I think he posted a video last heavy leg day.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, we already know what it means. He's getting ready.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see him against the big boys. It's going to be interesting. Ian, once again, I appreciate you, man. Much respect, much love, as always.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
And we will definitely talk probably tomorrow because we talk almost every day.
Yep.
And we also, after the Arnold, we have to get a workout in together and do what we did that last time when we videoed it.
Yes, anytime, man. Listen, I'm always down for a workout. You know me. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
One thing is, after Korea State, I'm coming out. I did leg day. Who do I see? This handsome man right here as I'm whipping down the steps.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I did leg day. You're like, what's up? I'm like,
yeah.
You know when it's bad, I still have my slides on from the sauna.
Oh God, right.
I didn't even change. I said, let me go. I went from sauna, put my jacket on, sneakers in the bag. It was like, I'm out.
Yeah. All right, brother. Until next time, but I'll talk to you soon.
Definitely, man. Talk to you soon.
Later, brother.
Later.